Hello and welcome to Tales Between Old Friends, a podcast where we share lighthearted pet stories and answer your pet care questions with the help of experts. I'm Devin, your host and fellow dog mom and pet lover. This is Billy, our producer and dog dad, with our special guest, Dr. Erin Brown, the chief vet in charge and co-founder of Heartstrings Pet Hospice. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Heartstrings Pet Hospice. Saying goodbye to a pet is one of the hardest things we face. At Heartstrings Pet Hospice, we believe every pet deserves compassion, dignity, and respect in their final days. With in-home hospice care and peaceful euthanasia, we help pets and their families through this journey with love and support right where they're most comfortable. Because every pet's goodbye should be filled with kindness and care. Heartstrings Pet Hospice, compassion, dignity, and respect. All right, first story from poster deleted. What are the most annoying things that your pet does? Our cat Simba has learned to push his food bowl onto the floor if he thinks it's empty enough. He'll do 1 or 2 pushes to send us the message, and then it goes onto the floor soon after if we don't respond in time, or usually when we are asleep. It makes a horrible, loud, clanging noise that scares everybody. The dog is hyper-aware when Simba pushes the bowl and will cry to us for help. So we always feed Simba when he starts pushing the bowl. We can't keep the bowl on the floor because the dog will help himself when nobody is looking. We've tried changing bowls and adding a rubber mat below to stop him from pushing. Simba will refuse to eat and starve himself even when the bowl is full. He likes pushing the bowl onto the floor.
All right
Rude.
then. I know. It's the the cat thing where it's like tapping something just a little bit until it falls off the counter.
Isn't it the F this game?
Oh man.
I pet sat for my brother when he had just his first poodle, and he had 2 cats, and the cats were young. They were probably like 2 or 3. And I wear glasses normally, but I have contacts in today, but my glasses are very expensive. And I set the glasses on the bedside table, and in the middle of the night, I heard them go flying off the table, and I went into sheer panic. Mind you, I can't see. I cannot see past the end of my nose. I have very poor vision. So it went into sheer, oh my God, where did the glasses go? Did they scratch the lenses? What am I going to do? Little trick. If you take your phone and open up your camera and have it focus where you can see properly, it becomes your eyes. So I was able to find my glasses. Little optician trick. Hey. I was able to find my glasses. They did scratch one of the lenses, but thankfully I worked for an optical practice at the time and I was able to get them fixed at work. But yeah, his cat played the F this game in the middle of the night and I went into...
That's on par. Luckily, dogs don't seem to want to play that game, which is a good one. I think the one thing that like Gibson and other dogs that I've had, Gibson will sigh like he is in a 1-star hostel in Eastern Europe. Like, what is going on? You don't have to work. You sleep. You get a walk. You get food. Even then, sometimes he just doesn't. He's so well off that he doesn't even have to eat when we put food down. Like he's not even concerned because he knows it just always gets there. And yet this dog will sigh like you're just pure torture having to be around us. And it's absolutely comical. I'm like, well, you can always get a job. Kibble is on the rise from a cost. So happy for you to pitch in, bud, whenever you want.
He's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Should start his Only Paws account.
Yeah.
Hey.
We've talked about it. He gets people. We are walking around because we walk around downtown quite a bit. We are, I think, to other people, his NPCs. Like there is Gibson, and then there's just the faceless, nameless bodies that are attached to the leash that are walking him around. Because everybody knows we'll get stopped constantly by people like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Gibson, you're so great, and we're like, hey, yeah,
we're here
and
too.
It's fine. But yeah, I think he'd crush an Only Paws account. So
for sure. When we lived in Ohio, and whenever we had decent amount of snow, our beagle Rocky would just, when we take him outside to go potty, he would just focus on eating the snow. He might pee a little bit here and there, but then he was just like chomp, chomp, chomp. I mean, he loved ice. He just loved the snow. And so, he would eat all the snow and then come back inside 15 minutes later, he needed to go pee again. And then he would eat more snow. And it was just like this constant cycle. And I was just like, you're just going to have to hold it, buddy. Or I will walk you on, on the salted sidewalks and you just pee there. So it was a winter battle that I do not miss being down in Atlanta now. So our next story is from Miserable Ad 6656. Roommate's cats keep peeing on my thing. Hello. I'm pretty close with my roommate. We've been friends since freshman year. We're now juniors. I recently moved into our house about a month and a half ago, and the house layout is that we have our own rooms, but the bathroom we share is through my room. She has this cat, and she's been keeping the litter box in the bathroom. However, within the first 2 weeks of living there, her cat peed in my bed 3 separate times. I decided to take a look in the litter box, and it's clear that my roommate doesn't clean it regularly. I told her about the incidents, and she immediately cleaned the litter box, and it was fine for a while. But this was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Since then, her cat has peed multiple times on our other roommate's clothes, and then again today in my bed and my clothes. I'm getting pretty frustrated because I just can't keep wasting water washing my sheets over and over again, and it's just gross. I really don't know what to do. I've been thinking about asking her if she can move the litter box to her room because I don't think that it's fair that I can't even close my door to prevent the cat from entering. I can't keep being afraid of smelling pee whenever I walk into my own room. I've also been considering asking her to clean the litter box more often than she does, but I don't want to be rude. She's my really close friend, and I don't want to ruin our friendship. Sorry for the rant. I'm just upset and need some advice on what to do about this. She's really your good friend. She will listen to you if you have some discomfort or something, like, I feel like you just need to just say it. Just put it out there. Just say it. There's certainly ways to say it, to ask them to clean the litter box more, but that's a big issue. And it could, if you don't let it out, you don't talk about it, it's just going to get worse. And I think too, bringing up adding more litter boxes, because you're really technically supposed to have the number of cats plus 1 is the amount of litter boxes you need. Now, when you have like 10 cats, the idea of having 11 litter boxes is nuts, but maybe you shouldn't have 10 cats. But with 1, you can just have 2 litter boxes, and there's more options, and maybe it'll help a little bit with the lack of scooping on a regular basis. Another option could be switching bedrooms. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, just have the cat mom live in the room where the bathroom is so that her cat can, and then she can, the friend that is afraid to say anything. I mean, I get it. When I was young, I was afraid to hurt everybody's feelings and felt like mine didn't really matter and kept myself quiet. And, some of us are still going through that people pleaser recovery over here. But no, I think a big way to fix that is just swap rooms. I mean, I moved to Texas a few months ago, and my dog has to set like days of us moving in and having everything set up. My dog decided to pee on the bed, and I figured it was because, oh, that's my stuff. I'm excited. Well, now it's happened 4 times. And I'm like, okay, what is it really? Because you're not asking. I'll be in the bedroom, like doing something or putting clothes away or whatever, and I come out and she's peeing in the bed. I'm like, you didn't even ask me to go outside. You're so good about this. So I just lock her out of the bedroom when I'm putting laundry away now. Problem solved.
Yeah, I definitely know that frustration. Growing up, we had cats, and if you've ever accidentally gone to elementary school, middle school, or high school with something a cat has peed on, everybody knows that a cat has peed on that, and it can be quite traumatizing as a kid. But it's hard to get that smell out of your brain once you've smelled it. And I would say that putting, if it's moving rooms or putting the litter box in their room, or them having a second litter box in their room just as a second one, it wouldn't be the worst idea in this situation, because it's obviously, luckily, it's not the cat just angry at the world and peeing on things. It seems like it's a pretty simple fix, and it's just a tough conversation at this point.
All right, Dr. Erin, let's talk about telehospice. I didn't know that telehospice and hospice existed until recently. So, what is telehospice for pets?
Yeah, so telehospice is a good kind of step in between sort of just your general senior pet care and then doing, a full-blown hospice consult. It's, basically a video call between the doctor and the family. Some, will hold up their pet, which I think is really adorable, or put the camera on their pet so they can be involved as well. But it's really just kind of having, kind of simple conversation to see, what has been going on lately. Are we ready for hospice? Um, what are some, things that maybe we can go ahead and start now before we do any full, hospice consults. So it's really kind of just, if you need like a few questions answered or talk about, quality of life scale, things like that. It's a good sort of step between if you're not quite ready to commit to like going full hospice.
That's great. I feel like it's definitely something beneficial. I mean, I've had to do telemedicine appointments for myself, and it's worked out great. So being able to FaceTime with the doctor would be great to ask a couple questions and kind of get like where we are and what next steps we have. Because I know there tends to be a lot of confusion, and when we're around our pets, we don't really see the decline because it happens slowly over time. So I think getting eyes on your pet via telehospice would be great. What are some of the benefits of telehospice compared to traditional in-person?
Yeah, so I think the benefits are if you have like say like a really busy schedule and it's hard to fit some time in to sit down at home and talk, with somebody for a couple hours, or if you're like I really only have a couple questions, but I don't really need to go to my primary care vet and I just want to kind of get these questions answered, without a big kind of fuss. It's definitely helpful. And you have, that doctor that you can pick their brain. You could talk about, whatever pre-hospice, hospice care, or even potentially talking about that euthanasia appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice, really just like getting information, getting some ideas, sort of to get you ready for that real sort of heavier end of life.
That's great. Who can benefit most from telehospice services, and when should pet owners consider it?
Yeah, I really think everyone can benefit from telehospice. I mean, obviously, those times in pet ownership and just life in general, where you're given some kind of horrible situation or traumatic event, and you have to rush to emergency or rush to your primary care, and you can't really plan anything out. So I think if you're able to plan out, it's good to at least get started with some telehospice. And I think when really should be when we're in those senior years of our life and when you're starting to see sort of a slowdown or maybe some minor changes in behavior or seeing minor symptoms and you're like, is this something I need to look at for gut disease or is this a sign for something bigger to come? So I think when you start to see those little kind of down ticks in their sort of behavior or their just general health is a good time to at least get started.
I think that's definitely going to help a lot of people moving forward with time frame as to when they can schedule an appointment like that. We all see hospice as such a negative thing, and it can actually be very beneficial to help extend our time frame in our brain. How does telehospice support both pet owners and veterinarians in making end of life decisions?
Yeah, so, obviously with the pet owners, we're giving them, information, giving them, tips and tricks, even potentially talking about medications, for pain or nutritional support, things like that, all very beneficial. It helps, obviously the pet to feel more comfortable and live out, the final time of their life with the least discomfort. And also supporting that bond that they have with the family. And I think they can even have a stronger bond during that time as well because you spend so much time together. And it definitely helps vets because I feel like one, it's a simple thing to do, just getting on a call. And I think it's nice to be able to connect with these families. You spend a little bit more time than you would in an office setting where you're trying to clear the room. You're just trying to, get these things done. Your tech's doing a lot of the history or doing a lot of the prep work. and you're just in there, flash in, flash out, and we're moving on to the next room. So it's nicer to be able to sit down to have that conversation. And then you can potentially, support that relationship even more if you go into their home and do hospice care in home, and then of course doing that final appointment. So I think it's beneficial in a lot of ways for both parties, and especially for the vets too, because I think it's also kind of reminds us why we went into this career field, to help people, to help pets, and it's just very rewarding to be able to kind of give that advice and use our skills and our knowledge to help as many people as possible.
It sounds like it's going to be great for all of us busy people that are always on the go. I mean, I feel like our schedules are getting busier and busier with no end in sight. And, it sounds like it's definitely a great piece for people that are always on the go. If anybody's like me, always going. What kind of technology is used for the telehospice appointment, and is it accessible for all pet owners?
Yeah, so really it's just, your phone or a laptop or a, tablet. We just really just do video call, and so really simple, easy, nothing real complicated. I'm not very computer savvy myself, so if I can do it, most people can do it. And telehospice is definitely accessible for all pet owners, as long as you have access to, your phone. Most people have smartphones these days, and you don't necessarily need a tablet or a laptop. You can just use your phone. So, very accessible. Just give us a call and we'll get it set up, and we'll have a doctor, calling you, in no time.
Well, it all sounds great. It's definitely something that I will keep in the back of my mind for future pets or friends' pets. Thank you, Dr. Erin. All right, our third and final story today is from Crow Dynasty. Dog ate chocolate. What do I do? We have a 7-year-old golden retriever. She's gotten into chocolate before, but never this much. We made cake pops today and separated them onto plates with about 6 on a plate, some chocolate, some vanilla, and we don't know which ones she ate. But she ate a whole plate while we were out. I'm really worried about how she'll handle having this much chocolate. If anyone who knows a great deal about big dogs has information, that'd be great. We don't have much money right now, and I don't think we can afford a vet visit. I'm just worried.
So it's tough when you don't know. The darker the chocolate, the less sweetener is worse, obviously. Big dogs, certainly can technically tolerate more than a small dog just from size, but it's a toxin. It can really do some damage. It can be deadly. So I think as hard as it is to kind of take on another vet visit, it's really honestly life or death, and it's worth going in. And sometimes it can just be as simple as getting the dog to vomit. If you can get it out, then you don't have to worry about it. If it's a small amount, sometimes it can just cause some tummy trouble, some GI upset. But again, if not knowing the amount, I think it's better to play it safe and just go to your vet. Hopefully get them to throw up. Sometimes they'll do give some charcoal that kind of binds those toxins and gets them to just poop it out without any issues. But, I would not delay or second guess a vet visit in that situation.
We had a Cocker Spaniel growing up that snuck into my mom's closet. Now, mind you, my mother's a quadriplegic, so everything is very easy to open in the house.
Yeah.
So Jack snuck into her closet and ate. I have a twin brother and I have a brother that's 10 months younger. We were adopted, whatever. That's a long story. Anywho, there's 3 of us. He ate all 3 Easter baskets. Little Cocker Spaniel. Oh, yeah.
No.
Thankfully, none of us like dark chocolate, so it was all milk chocolate and the white chocolate. So, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, that was a fun experience. Seeing that Jack was high on sugar.
Yeah.
And we no longer get Easter. But he ended up being okay in the long run. I think we did rush him to the vet and he was fine, but it was a little monster.
Yeah, and I saw this story and I was laughing reading through it because I feel like this Gibson did this a couple months ago while we were camping, and of course the first person in my phone book was Erin. Should I be worried? And what do I need to do? And she helped me through the whole thing, but he obviously was eyeing that truffle. Luckily, it was a small bit. And he's a big dog. He was eyeing that truffle, I think, the whole day, and he saw opportunity and just, you know. Luckily, he ate the wrapper with it, so we were pretty confident when it was all through him.
It's nice to get that confirmation. It's so funny that they go for these, bad things. I mean, not that it's great for us either, but when it's a toxin, we had a little loss of opsa growing up, and we had like a chocolate cake on our table, our dining room table. And we all went outside. I think we were doing like sparklers or some birthday thing. And we come back in, and she is literally on the dining room table. Like, she jumped a chair, jumped on the table, and was like noshing on the cake. We were like, so, whatever she could do to get to that cake, she was going to do it.
These pets are wild.
Yeah, they are trouble.
Thank you both for being here today. Really enjoyed talking about TeleHospice and our fun pet stories. I hope that girl has that tough conversation with her roommate. Dr. Erin, Billy, it's always great to see you and chat with you. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Don't forget to rate us with 5 stars on your favorite platform. If you don't like us, don't rate us. We don't want to hear about it.
Way to invite the haters.
Make sure that you follow us on all the platforms, and we'll be back soon with another episode with some crazy pet stories. And we're going to be talking with Dr. Erin about in-home hospice care. Stay tuned. Make sure you tell your pets that all 3 of us say hi. Okay?